California, the land of endless sunshine, booming tech fortunes, and a housing market once thought invincible. For decades, the Golden State symbolized limitless growth and real estate that only ever seemed to climb higher. Families stretched their budgets, investors poured in cash, and prices soared to levels that seemed untouchable. But in 2025, the dream is breaking apart. Interest rates have doubled, crushing affordability and sending monthly mortgage payments into the stratosphere. Inventory is surging, not by dozens of homes, but by hundreds of percent in city after city. Sellers slash prices, buyers vanish, and equity is evaporating faster than anyone imagined. From coastal enclaves once reserved for the wealthy to inland metros that drew migration during the pandemic, California's housing market is buckling under pressure. Homes that fetched millions just 2 years ago are now sitting unsold, bleeding value with every month that passes. Tonight, we're exposing the truth. These are the 10 California cities where home prices are set to drop hardest. If you're new here, now is the time to hit subscribe to discover the nation. Because we're not just tracking the headlines, we're uncovering the hidden collapse shaping America's housing future.
Number 10. Ventura. Ventura, a scenic coastal escape between Santa Barbara and Los Angeles, was once the perfect compromise for buyers locked out of its wealthier neighbors. Between 2019 and 2022, prices surged from $620,000 to $910,000, a jaw-dropping 47% leap. But in 2025, Ventura's market is unraveling. Inventory has exploded nearly 280% year over year, turning a once hot market ice cold. Homes that sold in weeks now sit on the market for over 70 days, a stunning reversal from the pandemic frenzy when properties sparked bidding wars within hours. The median price has already slipped to $845,000, stripping more than $65,000 in equity. Even luxury waterfront condos, once Ventura's crown jewel, are seeing $100,000 price cuts, yet still linger unsold. The real culprit is affordability collapse. With mortgage payments topping $5,400 a month compared to a median income of just $93,000, local families are priced out. Recent wildfires have also pushed insurance premiums into the thousands, scaring off would-be buyers. Rental markets aren't providing relief either. Airbnb bookings are down, leaving investors with vacant units and mounting bills. For Ventura, this isn't a temporary cooldown, it's a structural reset. And as nearby Los Angeles continues to slide, Ventura's decline will only deepen. If you're following this breakdown, make sure to subscribe to Discover the Nation. We uncover the markets falling fastest before anyone else does.
Number 9. Fresno. Fresno long carried the title of California's affordable alternative, drawing families from Los Angeles and San Francisco who wanted more space for less money. Between 2019 and 2022, prices jumped from $280,000 to $450,000, a 60% climb that sparked massive growth. Developers rushed to pour concrete, building entire subdivisions seemingly overnight. But in 2025, the cracks are undeniable. Inventory has ballooned 340% in just 2 years, and median prices have slipped below $410,000. That's $50,000 to $70,000 in equity losses for many households in just a single year. Properties that once sparked bidding wars now sit for 3 months or more, dragging the entire market down. Oversupply is Fresno's Achilles heel. Many new builds remain unfinished or unsold, leaving empty streets lined with for sale signs. Add in water scarcity issues plaguing the Central Valley, rising insurance costs, and one of the state's weakest job markets, and it's no surprise buyers are pulling back. Rental investors are getting squeezed as well, with flat rents failing to cover rising mortgage and maintenance costs. For Fresno, this isn't a small correction. It's the early stage of a major slide. And if unemployment ticks up, the domino effect could mirror the foreclosure crisis of 2008.
Number 8. Sacramento. Sacramento was the poster child of California's pandemic migration. As Bay Area tech workers fled San Francisco, home prices in the capital city surged from $365,000 in 2019 to $585,000 in 2022, a dizzying 60% increase. Buyers saw Sacramento as the affordable Bay Area, and sellers cashed in. But by 2025, the tide has turned. Inventory has surged 300%, leaving more than 7 months of supply on the market. Median prices have dropped by nearly $60,000, and homes that once attracted 10 offers now sit unsold for 90-plus days. Even newer suburban developments are plastered with discount banners and desperate incentives. The demand collapse is staggering. Remote work migration has slowed, mortgage rates have doubled monthly payments, and wildfire zone insurance costs are destroying affordability. Rental investors are panicking, with rents flatlining and carrying costs surging. Many are unloading properties at a loss. Downtown condos, once popular with young professionals, are especially oversupplied, with vacancy signs spreading like wildfire across high-rises. And the ripple effect is hitting Sacramento's economy hard. Restaurants, coffee shops, and service businesses that thrived on new arrivals are reporting steep slowdowns. Builders are cutting staff, small landlords are defaulting, and neighborhoods that boomed just 3 years ago now feel eerily hollow. Sacramento's boomtown glow has faded, replaced by the harsh reality of oversupply and weakening demand. The capital isn't holding its value, it's watching it vanish.
Number 7. Oakland. Oakland was long viewed as San Francisco's affordable cousin, a city where you could still find a home without Silicon Valley price tags, but that narrative has collapsed. From 2015 to 2022, Oakland's housing market exploded nearly 70%, with the median price peaking at $900,000. Investors piled in, banking on spillover demand from San Francisco. But in 2025, the fall is sharp. Median prices have tumbled below $820,000, and luxury condos downtown are slashing $100,000 or more just to spark interest. Inventory has spiked over 260%, and days on market have nearly tripled since 2021. The bidding wars of yesterday have been replaced with price cuts, seller desperation, and stale listings. And it's not just mortgage rates driving the decline. Oakland faces layered crises that strike at its foundation. Crime is climbing, homelessness is worsening, and entire commercial blocks downtown sit hollow as office vacancies soar. The city that once drew young families and tech commuters is now bleeding residents to suburbs and other states. Small businesses are closing, tax revenues are shrinking, and confidence in the market is evaporating. The Brooklyn of the West, once hailed as the Bay Area's next big thing, is quickly becoming a cautionary tale of urban decline and housing fragility. If you're seeing the Bay Area's unraveling unfold, don't miss the next chapters. Hit subscribe to discover the nation for the cities sliding fastest.
Number 6. Stockton. Stockton knows what a housing crash feels like. It was ground zero during the 2008 foreclosure crisis. And today, history looks like it's repeating. Between 2019 and 2022, prices soared from $325,000 to $515,000, a 58% surge fueled by migration from the Bay Area. Buyers rushed in, believing Stockton was California's last affordability stronghold. But by 2025, the market is buckling. Inventory is up more than 350%, median prices have slipped below $470,000, and foreclosure filings are once again climbing. Families who bought at the top are already underwater, watching their hard-earned equity vanish. Stockton's affordability advantage has crumbled. With mortgage rates doubling monthly payments, the median household income of $78,000 can no longer stretch far enough. At the same time, crime concerns and strained city services are driving residents out. Roads, schools, and utilities are under immense stress, while tax revenues shrink just when the city needs them most. And the warning signs look all too familiar. Vacant homes are multiplying in older neighborhoods.
Spec homes are left unfinished, and landlords are slashing rents just to keep units occupied. Investors who once touted Stockton as California's last great buy are now liquidating properties at a loss. The city that was supposed to represent resilience is slipping back toward the same trap it fell into 15 years ago: overbuilt, overpriced, and under pressure. The scars of 2008 never fully healed, and this time Stockton may be facing an even deeper cut. Stick with us and subscribe now to discover the nation, because Stockton is only the beginning.
Number 5. San Diego. San Diego, America's so-called finest city, is discovering that even sunshine can't shield a housing market from a correction. Between 2019 and 2022, home prices exploded from $600,000 to over $930,000, a 55% rise in just 3 years. Buyers believed coastal living here was bulletproof, but by 2025, the wave has broken. Inventory has surged 280%, flooding the market with unsold homes. Median prices have already slipped below $880,000, and luxury coastal estates are slashing $150,000 to $200,000. Even condos in Mission Valley and North Park are recording 15% declines, lingering unsold for months. The root problem is affordability. A standard mortgage now exceeds $6,200 a month. Even dual-income professional households are stretched thin once you add in insurance premiums, property taxes, and San Diego's notoriously high cost of living. Investors who counted on rental demand are facing stagnant rents, and tourism-driven income isn't enough to backstop the correction. And the cracks are spreading beyond real estate. Local restaurants and small businesses, once booming with newcomers, are reporting slower foot traffic. Builders are cutting back new projects, while families who stretched at the peak now face the prospect of negative equity. San Diego isn't collapsing overnight like Stockton, but its era of effortless growth is over. The correction is steady, painful, and accelerating. For many homeowners, the dream of coastal security is being replaced by the fear of a prolonged decline.
Number 4. Malibu. Malibu's cliffside mansions and oceanfront estates have always seemed immune to the rules of economics. For decades, it was the playground of celebrities, CEOs, and international elites, a place where price tags didn't scare buyers, they attracted them. But in 2025, even Malibu is being pulled back down to earth. Median home prices peaked at $3.9 million, yet by mid-2025, they've already slipped nearly 15%, erasing millions in wealth across the coastline. Listings that once drew all-cash bidding wars now linger on the market for more than 200 days, with sellers forced to chop $500,000 to $1 million just to generate interest. Many sit unsold even after multiple reductions. The culprit is the cost of ownership. Wildfires and mudslides have pushed insurance premiums above $25,000 a year, with some policies topping $40,000 in high-risk zones. Add in property taxes and HOA dues, and the carrying costs are staggering, even for the ultra-wealthy. Meanwhile, climate risk is spooking international investors, and the global buyer pool that once drove Malibu higher has thinned dramatically. And Malibu faces a unique vulnerability. Buyers here don't need these homes, they want them. When markets shift, luxury becomes the first thing cut. Even Hollywood stars are cashing out, choosing to rent rather than shoulder the burden of ownership. For the first time in decades, Malibu sellers are chasing the market and losing ground with every cut. Even paradise is proving vulnerable.
Number 3. Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills has long been the crown jewel of California real estate, a global icon of luxury living. Streets like Rodeo Drive and neighborhoods like Trousdale Estates defined glamour. But beneath the glitz, cracks are spreading. In 2022, the median home price soared past $4.2 million. By 2025, prices have already slipped below $3.8 million, wiping out hundreds of thousands of equity in less than 3 years.
Ultra-luxury estates listed above $10 million are flooding the market, but the buyers aren't there. Price cuts of $1 million to $3 million are becoming the norm, and some homes are sitting unsold for nearly a year. The reasons are clear. Foreign capital that once poured in from China, the Middle East, and Europe has slowed to a trickle. Rising property taxes, surging insurance premiums, and new transfer taxes on luxury sales are further shrinking demand. Meanwhile, wealthy domestic buyers are eyeing Florida and Texas, where tax bills are lower and climate risks less severe. And it's not just the mega mansions. Even mid-tier luxury homes priced between $2 million and $4 million are struggling to sell, leaving longtime residents with homes worth less than they were just a few years ago. Beverly Hills still looks glamorous on the surface, but behind the gates and palm-lined streets, panic is spreading among sellers who never imagined their properties could stagnate. Even Beverly Hills can't escape economics. The glamour is still there, but the buyers aren't.
Number 2, Los Angeles. Los Angeles, the city of sprawl, ambition, and reinvention, is now staring at a brutal reset. From 2019 to 2022, prices exploded from $650,000 to nearly $1 million, fueled by migration, investor demand, and pandemic-era money. But in 2025, the cracks are undeniable. Inventory has surged over 300%, with more than 40,000 active listings clogging the market across LA County. The median home price has already slipped by $70,000, while luxury enclaves like Hollywood Hills and Brentwood are chopping $200,000 to $500,000 per property. Homes that once sparked 20 offers now sit unsold for months. But this is about more than mortgage rates. LA is grappling with homelessness at historic levels, crime concerns pushing families to the suburbs, and a downtown commercial real estate meltdown where office towers sit half empty. The rental market, once LA's saving grace, is now buckling under rising vacancies as thousands of new luxury units hit the market all at once. Investors who thought LA was immune to downturns are quietly unloading properties, sometimes at a loss. Add in wildfire insurance premiums topping $7,000 a year in hillside neighborhoods, traffic choke commutes, and shrinking job growth in entertainment and tech, and LA's problems become structural. The dream factory of California is being forced to face harsh economic limits, and the reset is only beginning. If you're watching LA's unraveling with shock, don't miss what's coming next. Subscribe to Discover the Nation for the rest of this countdown.
Number 1. San Francisco. San Francisco was once the crown jewel of California real estate, the city where tech billionaires, venture capital, and global money collided to send prices soaring. In 2022, the median home price reached an astonishing $1.65 million. But by 2025, the bubble is bursting hard. Inventory has surged nearly 320%, with thousands of homes sitting unsold. Median prices have already slipped below $1.5 million, erasing $150,000 or more in equity in just a few years. Downtown luxury condos have plunged 20%, with entire towers half vacant. Foreclosures, once rare in this market, are quietly ticking upward again, a haunting echo of 2008. But the cracks run deeper than housing. Tech layoffs and permanent remote work have gutted San Francisco's downtown, leaving vacancy rates at near-record highs. Whole blocks of office towers sit dark, restaurants have shuttered, and tourism has slowed. Families are leaving in droves, citing crime, homelessness, and an unlivable cost of living. Even once bulletproof enclaves like Pacific Heights, No Valley, and the Marina District are watching for sale signs multiply. The myth of endless tech-driven demand is gone. What's left is a city bleeding population, hollowed-out tax revenues, and a housing market sliding with no clear bottom. San Francisco isn't just losing its housing boom, it's losing its status as California's crown jewel. The correction here may not just be the deepest in California, but the sharpest in the entire nation. Stay with us, because San Francisco's fall is only the beginning of America's broader housing reckoning.
Final conclusion. California has always been the ultimate real estate dream. From Malibu's oceanfront mansions to San Francisco's tech-fueled skyline, this state symbolized wealth, growth, and glamour. But in 2025, that dream is cracking under its own weight. The numbers tell the story. Inventory surging by hundreds of percent, median prices slipping tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Luxury markets bleeding millions, and affordability collapsing across every region. From Ventura's coastal reset to San Diego's affordability wall, from Oakland's unraveling to San Francisco's implosion, no corner of the Golden State is immune. The forces driving this collapse aren't temporary. Rising interest rates, surging insurance premiums, wildfire and climate risk, hollowed-out job markets, and mass migration out of California are creating a perfect storm. What once felt unstoppable is now in retreat. Even the wealthiest enclaves, Malibu, Beverly Hills, Napa, Palo Alto, are chasing buyers instead of dictating prices. And here's the hard truth: this is only the beginning. A housing market that soared 70% or more in just a few years doesn't unwind gently. It crashes, it resets, and it forces millions to rethink what homeownership really costs in a state as fragile as California. The California housing collapse is no longer a warning, it's a reality. Families are losing equity, investors are fleeing, and sellers are facing a market they don't recognize. For the first time in decades, California's golden glow is dimming, and the road ahead may be darker still.